China's been in the news for all the wrong reasons in recent times. An assertive communist regime led by all-powerful Xi Jinping is being seen as a security challenge by several nations. Many experts had predicted this situation a decade ago, that the rise of China will not be peaceful. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how 10 countries are taking on China militarily. Let's get into the details. Vietnam has upgraded its defenses around the disputed Spratly Islands in the South China Sea over the last 2 years to counter China. A report released by Washington-based Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative (AMTI) revealed that the nation has advanced defense outposts across its bases in West Reef and Sin-Ko Island to tackle People's Liberation Army's (PLA) superiority in the archipelago, and its disputed claims on 45 islands in its entirety, which provide rich oil and gas deposits. In its recent efforts in order to make the archipelago more resilient against China, Hanoi has numbered up its military emplacements to ensure it can strike Chinese facilities, according to an AMTI report. The coastal defense installations, concrete emplacements often connected to a bunker, are ubiquitous at Vietnam's larger outposts. It's also improved its ties with the United States, Japan, the EU, Australia, and India to act as a hedge. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. China claims almost 90% of the South China Sea through its so-called 9-line map. It says it has indisputable sovereignty over the sea. The wide-reaching demarcation was rejected by an arbitral tribunal at The Hague in July 2016, after a case was lodged by the Philippines against China. China has rejected the ruling and has been poking the Philippines with naval incursions. The Philippines is now taking steps to counter this and has signed a contract that could see it acquiring the BrahMos missile system from India. This deal was inked during a signing ceremony in Manila, where India was represented by its ambassador to the Philippines. The Philippines has clearly stated that it wants the system, and the country's defense secretary, Delfin Lorenzana, who was witness to the signing ceremony, declared that we are buying the BrahMos missile. Germany has prioritized its trade and business interests with China. But Germany seems to have had enough, and things seem to be changing now. It's becoming increasingly firm when it comes to several issues, especially unrestricted navigation in the South China Sea. German officials confirmed that a German frigate will sail through the South China Sea this summer. This is the first time since 2002 such a move is being contemplated. Officials in the country's defense and foreign ministries told Reuters that the frigate, scheduled to embark on a trip to Asia in August, will traverse the South China Sea on the return leg of its journey. The transit will mark the first time in 19 years that a German warship will pass through the contested waters and is being viewed as a freedom of navigation operation. It seems France is no longer willing to sit on the sidelines. French Defense Minister Florence Parly had announced that the French nuclear attack submarine SNA Emeraude recently conducted a patrol in the South China Sea. The vessel is a Rubis Amethyst-class submarine. She revealed that the French nuclear attack submarine SNA Emeraude was among 2 Navy ships. She tweeted along with a picture of the two vessels at sea. This extraordinary patrol has just completed a passage in the South China Sea, a striking proof of our French Navy's capability to deploy far away and for a long time together with our Australian, American, and Japanese strategic partners. As per reports, the SNA Emerald has been patrolling the Indo-Pacific zone. The UK has become increasingly concerned with Chinese tactics. The UK Royal Navy has assembled its largest carrier strike group in almost 40 years, the service announced. Commodore Steve Morehouse, commander of the UK Carrier Strike Group, said in a statement, "Carrier Strike offers Britain choice and flexibility on the global stage. It reassures our friends and allies and presents a powerful deterrent to would-be adversaries." He had added, "Protected by a ring of advanced destroyers, frigates, helicopters, and submarines, and equipped with fifth-generation fighters, HMS Queen Elizabeth is able to strike from the sea at a time and place of our choosing." Britain's Defense Minister, Gavin Williamson, had stated earlier that the country's new aircraft carrier, HMS Queen Elizabeth, will go to the Pacific on its first operational mission, and a transit through the South China Sea is in the cards. A lot's gone on between China and Australia in the last year, and the tension between the two nations has risen exponentially. Australia's 2020 Defence Strategic Update and Force Structure Plan indicates that it will be taking up a more proactive role in the Indo-Pacific. Viewers may note that this comes after Australia announced that it would spend $186 billion on its military, including long-range missiles, over the next decade amid rising tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. Though Prime Minister Scott Morrison refrained from naming China as he pressed home Australia's needs by defining a post-COVID world that is poorer, that is more dangerous, and that is disorderly. Australia plans to arm its fleet of Super Hornets with long-range anti-ship missiles purchased from the United States. It's also looking to deploy long-range hypersonic missiles that could be launched from land. In a speech to the Australian Defence Force Academy in Canberra, Morrison has said his country must face the reality that we've moved into a new and less benign strategic era. China has threatened to bring Taiwan under its fold, even if it requires the use of force. In recent times, it's escalated the pressure by frequently sending military jets and warships. Taiwan is increasingly worried that China may launch an all-out campaign against it. It's in the process of bulking up its military muscle. Recently, it struck a deal worth $1.8 billion with the U.S. that includes missiles, artillery, and sensors. Among the weapons systems is the 11 truck-based rocket launchers made by Lockheed Martin Corp. Called a High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, HIMARS, at an estimated cost of $436.1 million. The notification also covered 135 AGM-84H Standoff Land Attack Missile Expanded Response SLAMR missiles and related equipment made by Boeing for an estimated $1.008 billion. 6 MS-110 Reese external sensor pods made by Collins Aerospace for jets at an estimated cost of $367.2 million is also part of the deal. Japan Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga's cabinet approved a record high $51.7 billion or 5.34 trillion yen draft budget for the fiscal year of 2021 amid the COVID-19 pandemic and security challenges. The rise in military spending would be reportedly directed towards the development of an advanced stealth fighter and longer-range anti-ship missile. The growth in the budget can be attributed to the increasing uneasiness in Japan about China's long-term military goal. Viewers may note, in this context, that China has passed a new law recently that allows the Chinese Coast Guard to use weapons against foreign ships that it sees as illegally entering what it thinks is its territory. According to Japan's constitution, it's a pacifist country. Article 9 states that the Japanese people forever renounce war and the threat or use of force. But new laws introduced in recent times allow a much broader interpretation of what can be done by Japan's self-defense forces and what not. A growing military budget and a much more aggressive defense policy indicate that Japan is taking steps to militarily counter China. Recent Chinese actions around the LAC, or Line of Actual Control, have clearly indicated that it's a threat for India. It's prompted India to fast-track many weapon systems, and several have been tested in the last few months, which includes hypersonic technology demonstration vehicle, laser-guided anti-tank guided missile, supersonic Shaurya missile, anti-radiation missile, to name a few. India is also acquiring multiple weapons systems like MQ-9C Guardian from the US, MiG-29s from Russia. Cabinet Committee on Security, led by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has also recently approved the purchase of 73 Tejas LCA, or Light Combat Aircraft fighter jets, and 10 trainer aircraft. U.S. and China have been at loggerheads for some time now. Increasingly, the U.S. is focusing on China and orienting its military to meet the threat. The U.S. military's Indo-Pacific Command has sought a fund of $27.4 billion to build a network of precision strike missiles. It submitted the core proposal, titled Pacific Deterrence Initiative (PDI), to Congress. The idea is to enhance its conventional deterrence against China. The plan envisages developing and deploying these missiles along the first island chain on the west of the International Dateline (IDL) over the next 6 years. IDL is an imaginary line of demarcation on the Earth's surface running from the North Pole to the South Pole. Not only this, the head of Indo-Pacific Command has pitched lawmakers on building an Aegis Ashore missile defense facility to guard the U.S. territory, warning that China's missile arsenal threatens Guam and the United States will have to fight for it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.